It's hard to believe that it's that time again. Welcome back to another edition of The Good, the Bad, and the Unusual, where we take a look back at all of the strange happenings from on the course the last month. And as usual, these guys have outdone themselves once again. Let's kick it off with world number one and now a very famous 3-iron. During the second round of the WGC Cadillac Championship, McIlroy let frustration get the best of him and sent his 3-iron an impressively far distance into the same lake his ball had just went into. From there, course owner Donald Trump hired a scuba diver the next day to retrieve the club, because of course he did. And then on Sunday, Trump himself returned it to McIlroy, who we are pretty sure actually never wanted to see that club again. From one water disaster to another, Ian Poulter had a very real opportunity to win his first PGA Tour event since 2010 at the Honda Classic.
And that splashed in the water.
That is until he handed it away in the final round, putting 5 balls in the water. It was a meltdown that was hard to watch, and we're definitely filing it under bad, but the good was the way the Englishman handled himself afterwards.
It's a shame to hand tournaments away. I mean, you don't mind being beaten fair and square. And good luck to the boys that are out there in the playoff. But I've handed one away this week, and it's going to hurt.
And just when you thought the water stories were over, you were wrong. Check out the unbelievable storm that hit the Honda Classic on Saturday, forcing a Monday finish. We're talking lightning touching down, tents flying away, and scoreboards collapsing. Hands down, the worst storm that we've had all season. All right, so from the worst storm to the worst rejection of the week, in round one at the Honda Classic, Martin Kaymer and Sergio Garcia decided to run to the restroom together. See, it's not only girls that do that, only to find out the door was locked. Now let's talk the really good. And by really good, I mean perfect. We saw 3 aces in the span of 2 weeks. First with Dustin Johnson at Doral, who would go on to win the event.
How about this? Is it going? How about that? How about Dustin Johnson?
And then less than 20 minutes later, JB Holmes aced the same hole and added a little celebration for us.
Look at this, again, maybe again? Get out of here! How does that happen? Somebody get me a statistician and figure the odds on this.
Over at the Valspar Championship in Tampa, Jonathan Bird recorded another impressive hole-in-one on the 15th.
Well, definitely not going to play over par for Jonathan Bird today.
But he will never be able to top this walk-off ace for the victory in a playoff in 2010 at the Shriners Hospital for Children Open. And why not end this episode with something hilariously bad, but it actually ended up being pretty good for James Hahn. He's a relative unknown guy until his victory in the playoff at the Northern Trust Open. Just how unknown was he? We'll let him tell the story.
I was signing hats after the round, and I asked some guy, I was like, hey, is there a playoff? What's going on? He's like, yeah, it's Dustin Johnson, Paul Casey, and some other guy. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, okay. I was like, cool, here's your hat.
That'll do it for this edition of The Good, the Bad, and the Unusual. Don't forget to subscribe, though, to our YouTube channel and comment below on your favorite moment from the last month. I'll see you next time.